is speaking out against this situation with Brittany Renner and PJ Washington. Now, I don't know if you all saw the video. This was a video where Brittany Renner, and they're saying that the person that was recording was her mom. So this was an exchange where PJ Washington, he was coming to pick up his son for his visitation. And so Brittany decides it was at that moment that it was urgent that she starts this bull junkie with this man as he came to pick up his kid. So she's giving him a hard time, telling him, see, this is what it is. See, because the little boy was starting to cry when Brittany handed the son to his father, the baby started crying. And so we all know, listen, kids cry for a whole bunch of reasons. You could have been telling him some bad about his daddy, whatever it is. Kids cry, they fall out. The little boy looked like he's probably about 2 or 3 years old. Those are prime tantrum stages. Those are the ages, baby, where they just turn into a pretzel in your arm within the stroke of a look. They are turned into a pretzel all kinds of different ways. That's what they do at that age. But I have to say this. I'm so disappointed in, I don't like when women do what this low budget chick done did. And I have to call now. I really try my best not to talk bad, but you know what? You got to talk bad. When bad talk is required, we have to do it. And this chick, she has to be talked bad about because you know what? She gives mothers a bad name, and she makes it, these type of chicks are the chicks that makes it bad for people trying to co-parent. You make it really bad. Ma'am, give the man his son, okay? Shut your pothole and give him his son. If you don't want him coming to your house, then you all need to find somebody else so that you can make that exchange so that this man can get his child. But there's no reason that he's coming to pick his son up and you decide at that very moment that this is the moment you want to show y'all drop some cuss words for me. But this was the moment she decided she wanted to show her up in there. And it was so embarrassing because you're picking a fight with your son's father in front of your son. Like, now, look, I'm going to get on PJ in a minute because he didn't have to entertain the bull junkie. But 95% of my gripe is with Brittany. Listen, you all, just because the relationship is over and things went south between you all in the relationship, stop doing this to these fathers. Let this man father his son. He knows what he's doing. If you didn't think he knew what he was doing, you shouldn't have let him raw dog and then skeet it all up in you if you didn't think that he had the wherewithal to be a good father. So don't go trying to control how he does things. That's his son. Oh, well, see, I'm gonna let everybody see how we go down. No, Wayne, all we saw was you. People of sound mind, good, responsible adults, all we saw was your foolishness. And you give mothers a bad name. You the type of chick that these dudes that walk away from their kids because they don't want to deal with that BS. When you all think of you get on some of these posts and you see some of these chicks saying, oh, my baby daddy a deadbeat. You know what? Some of you are Brittany Renner. Some of you are Brittany Renner, whatever her name is, Brittany to be. Some of you all act just like her. So if your baby daddy really a deadbeat, or is he just tired of your toxic behind? Is he tired of your messy, low budget, miserable behind? Is he really a deadbeat? Or do he want you to just shut up and let him do what he's supposed to do for his kids? Some of you all make it so god doggone hard for these men to raise their kids. All they want to do is come pick their kids up in peace, and they want you to shut up. That's all they want you to do. They want you to have the kid ready, have the bag ready, and your mouth closed. That's all they want. And if we can do that, I think that we can have co-parenting work out very well. But I'm sorry, dudes that have to deal with this ish, with these chicks like this Brittany B, listen, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that you all have to go through this. Now, let me just slide on over to PJ real quick, but I'm going to come back to Brittany because I got a lot for Brittany. PJ, you got to stop letting this wench trigger you, okay? That's the first thing. You got to stop giving. Now, I know that it's hard. I know that it is, but you are a professional ball player. You know that they talk crazy and all this other foolishness on the court, and you ain't gonna hit them, and you're not gonna entertain it because you don't want to get a foul or a technical or whatever it is that it comes in the sport that you play. You have to have the same level of constraint and restraint when you are dealing with this basic wench right here, because you see that you are dealing with a bottom of the barrel wench. You see it. You see, if I were you, sir, I would be trying to get joint custody, because nobody has 18 years to deal with this type of foolishness. It's just unhealthy. And guess who's going to be hurt? You're only hurting the child. Please do not ever have a nasty exchange like that ever again in front of your child, because it's not worth it. The kid loves both of you all. And to see that type of exchange from the parents is not good for the child. Another thing, PJ, stop bringing that woman to to Brittany's house. Now, you was filed for that. Stop bringing that woman, especially if you know that Brittany holds this wench responsible. She think that your wife is responsible for you and her not being together, or whatever the case is. You see that it's toxic. You have to be a man and say, okay, I have to take control of this situation. And right now, it's not going to work out for me bringing my wife, because the last thing you want, which is what happened, is for your wife and the baby mama to start getting into an unnecessary argument. So you got to keep the wife at home, because wife, I love you, but you don't have nothing to do with this. You wasn't in there when they was up in there hanging off the chandeliers. Oh, baby. Who's this? You wasn't in there. You wasn't in there. Unless y'all did a freaky. Y'all was doing a little something freaky. Now, if y'all doing a little something freaky, that's a different story. But to my knowledge, y'all wasn't doing a little nothing freaky. So this don't have nothing to do with you, ma'am. So with all due respect, you know that the situation is not a good fit right now. All I'm saying is somebody has to be grown. Somebody has to put the needs of the child first, because that unnecessary exchange between you all, and if you all are always going at it like that, oh my God, I feel sorry for that baby. Your son is not going to make it. Your son is going to be unbalanced. Your son is going to suffer if you all don't get it together. So please, just whatever you have to do, PJ, be a man and just try. And I'm not saying that you're not a man, but I'm saying just be the bigger person in this situation and not entertain her foolishness. So again, I think that it might be a good idea for you to try to seek joint custody. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't have to deal with this. Again, ladies that make it hard for these men to be a father to their kids, please stop it. Please stop using these kids as a pawn. Listen, Please stop doing that. Let these fathers father. Just because the kid is primarily in your care doesn't mean that the father does not get a right. It just burns me up when you going in there. The kid's father is taking care of the kid, but you don't like the clothes that they're buying them, or you don't like, some got your panties in a bunch, something. Listen, stick your hand in your butt and get your panties out a bunch, okay? Let this man do what he's gonna do. I'm tired. Listen, I'm tired of you basic level chicks out here giving the rest of these hard working mothers a bad name. Every mother is not like that. Every single mother is not like that. Every single father is not like that. Some of these dudes, I believe a lot of these dudes want to be in their life, in their kids' lives. But if they have to have a fight like this, like Brittany and PJ, if they have to do this every day, every time they go to pick their kid up, I can see why some of them will say, F these kids, F this, because they tired of your mouth. Now listen, would it be me? No, I'm going to fight for mine. But I can understand men get tired. Listen, they tired. How I know they tired? Because I'm tired of seeing you all. I'm tired of hearing this. I'm tired of seeing you all show y'all BBL behinds with these men. You chose them. Okay, you chose them. You knew what it was. Stop using these kids as a pawn. Yeah, well, this is why your son is only getting $11,000 a month, because you're giving this B $170,000. Ma'am, your son is still in pull-ups. What does he know about $11,000? If you can't manage off $11,000 a month, then you need to go turn some more tricks, honey. Okay? He done gave you his $11,000. Now you match your $11,000. Now you got $22,000. So you go out there, you go get on a pole or jump, do some tricks, or go hook another baby daddy, or go get you somebody else with some money. Go do something. But if he's bringing his $11,000, then you need to be bringing your $11,000. And then guess what? Your baby will have $22,000 a month. Case closed. Your mouth should be shut. Stop making it hard for these dudes. Let these men be a father to their kids. You all, the mothers that do this, women that do this, listen, I understand. He left you. He said that y'all was going to be together. Y'all was the only one. I promise you, I get it. I understand. I feel you. I feel you. But it's not that baby's fault. It's not the baby's fault. You are out of line for that. You are out of line for that. It's just like you bring these new people in, fellas, again, when you have these new chicks, you gotta keep them out of the situation. You were wrong for bringing that woman to Brittany's house. I don't care, your wife, you knew, listen, you already know that it's hostile already. And if you are not doing what you're supposed to do, if you are not being consistent, and that's why she's showing out like that, you need to fix that. But I'm gonna side with you right now. I'm gonna be on your side with you, because I saw how vicious she was when you came to pick the baby up. So I want to say, I'm gonna be on your side and say that could be the reason why you are inconsistent with picking them up. But I'm gonna also strip away the excuse. You are a father. You chose her. You guys chose each other. You created an innocent child that does not deserve to suffer. And if she's making it that difficult each time you go to visit your son, then again, I think you need to take another trip up to the court and find out how to get joint custody. Now, see, this is where you separate the pretenders from the real fathers. Because, see, sir, you have money. So you can easily take her to court. You can easily be lawyered up and get joint custody. You can easily do that. So, see, this is where that suggestion right there is what separates the talkers versus the fathers that are really trying to be there. So if you really want to shut her mouth, take her to court and get joint custody. But something tells me that he really not going to do that, because when you are a full-time parent, you don't get to move around so much. But he might be cool because you got money. You can hire nannies and things of that nature. But let's not get too dependent on nannies, because, now your child will have a close relationship with a nanny, but not his father. So, yeah, you got custody of the kid, but you don't have any time for the kid. So, something has to be done. But I will say this. You all cannot go on like that. And please, don't ever let us see another nasty exchange like that ever, ever, ever again. Because that was beyond ridiculous. Suck my DB. Wait, what? In front of your son? In front of your son? And then the wife. Oh, the wife is just as raggedy as she want to be. Because, see, a good wife, I'm going to tell you what a good wife would have did. Okay, a good wife would have, come on, baby, just get in. Come on, let's just go. Let's make sure PJ Jr. is strapping me and make sure he cool. Come on, baby, let's just go. We don't have time for this. We're not going to entertain this. That's what a good wife would have done. Not a good wife. I'll smack you, bitch. Da, 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 da. No. Okay? No. So you have 4 adults that were all acting like children in front of this baby. 4 adults. And not one of them had common sense to say, you know what? This is not that. This is not that. This is not that. This is not the time for this. I will not do this type of exchange in front of my child. I'd be like, I'll be back for you. I'm gonna have a sidebar with you after this. Something. But we gotta stop doing these negative exchanges in front of the kids. And then you wonder why your kids are crazy. You all are the reason why y'all kids are crazy. Your kids in school cussing everybody out. You want to know why? Go think. Go figure. You want to know why your second grader up in there cussing up a storm, cussing the teacher out. The kid go to a Catholic school. He done, cuss Sister Mary Funches out, done called to all kinds of great old bees, and you all are wondering why. You cannot truly be wondering why your kids are acting the way they act, and you all act the way you all act in front of these kids. So please, Brittany, please get yourself. Listen, she is coming from a total place of a scorned, bitter woman. I know, listen, and I know that he hurt you. I know that you are disappointed. I know all of that. Girl, you got to go cry that ish out and move on, because he has. Now, PJ, she know that you done moved on. But every time she see you with that woman, it reminds her it's opening up wounds. I'm not responsible for how she feel. You might be right about that. But you are responsible for not bringing that woman to her house, because that was totally foul and that was totally disrespectful. And you know that your wife is ignorant. I'm sorry. The way she acted in that car, maybe she don't act like that all the time. Maybe it was a bad day. Maybe she didn't have her coffee. Maybe she didn't have her morning run, whatever it was. But the way she showed her end up in that car, It was not a good look. All of you all showed out, and you all showed out horribly. Horribly. You all showed out. And again, the only person that is going to suffer is going to be your son. That's the only person that's going to suffer because you guys are acting crazy like that in front of your kid. Listen, child support, let me say this. Child support is one issue. Visitation and visiting and being a father and showing up is something else. If the dude is not paying child support, but he's showing up, listen, let this man show up and handle that legally in the court. But at no time should you be saying, oh, well, you late on your child support. You ain't paid no child support, so you not gonna see him. You ain't taking him until you pay me. Listen, Wayne, look, okay? With all that foolishness, let the man see his kid. One does not have anything to do with the other. Take him to child support court. Do whatever you need to do to ensure that the finances come through. But you should not be preventing a father from being a father and showing up and being present in their child's life because they are not paying child support or because you're not getting the amount that you feel like you should be getting. Come on. We got to stop doing that. We have to stop doing that. Like, one does not have anything to do with the other. When you go to child support court, what are they talking about there? In that court, they are only talking about money. So you should know. That's letting you know. The law is telling you. Child support is one thing. Visitation and being able to raise and be a part of your child's life is another issue. They don't handle visitation issues in child support, and you shouldn't mix the two either. Child support is child support. Visitation and him being it, he can be $100,000 in arrears. And if he come every weekend, every week like he's supposed to, every other day, and he's showing up, and them arrears is just building up, baby, it's better for this man to come and pick this baby up and be a part of his life than this money. Now listen, both are important, but this man being a part of his child's life, it trumps that. Yes, I know it may make it a little bit harder on you because you need the child support, or the father is not stepping up and doing what he's supposed to do. But that's where it goes back to, listen, you know what? I got to take some accountability for this because I laid down. I chose him. I knew he wasn't much, but I still chose to engage in these activities and not make him wear a raincoat. I chose this. So I have to take some responsibility for putting myself in this situation as well. I'm going to have to take some of this accountability. Yes, you do, my love. Yes, you do. I'm sorry to tell you that. Yes, you have to take some accountability for your actions as well, because again, when you are talking about child support, that's child support. He can be as behind as he wants to, but if he's showing up faithfully and consistently to see his child, please leave that man alone. Please leave these men alone. Please let these men be the fathers that they are striving to be. Stop making it hard for them. Stop. Listen, ladies, I'm asking you all, please, if you are acting like this, please stop. Please stop. Please, please, please. For the sake of your child, please stop acting like this, because it is not a good look. Not only is it not a good look, but it's not healthy for your child. It's really not. This is not helping your child when you all are acting ugly. How does this help your child? It doesn't. So we have to do better, and we have to keep these situations separate. We got to keep child support with child support. We got to keep visitation with visitation. But in my opinion, visitation and being a present father, being a present parent, in my opinion, it trumps everything. Like it trumps everything because especially when they're young, like for real, you all, these kids don't know anything about child support. They don't know that. They don't know that. But they know when daddy came to buy them ice cream. They know when daddy picked them up and, let them roll on his back. They know when daddy was sitting there playing a game with them. They know when daddy took them to the park. They know that. Now listen, daddy, they also know when you told them you were going to come get them and you stood them up. They know also that, man, it's been X amount of time since I've seen my daddy or since I talked to my daddy. They know that too. So just keep in mind when we are making excuses or we have reasons on why we're not showing up, just keep in mind that they remember all. They remember the good and they remember the bad. So let's give them more good things to rely on and to remember. But this toxic foolishness, this toxic exchanges, all this arguing and all of this back and forth, oh no, you all, that has to end. That has to end immediately, not only for Brittany and PJ. If you are under the sound of my voice and you all are entertaining this type of foolishness, it has to end for you as well because it's not healthy. It's not healthy for the kids. It's not healthy for anybody. Listen, you're sitting up here, you're about to have your blood pressure skyrocketing because every time you turn around, you arguing and bickering with somebody. Who wants to live like this? Nobody wants to live like that. So, with as much as possible, that's within your control, because you can only control yourself and how you behave and how you respond in situations. Let's do better. So, ma'am, whatever witchcraft you and your mother or whoever that was over there recording, whatever kind of witchcraft foolery you all have going on over there. Oh, and each time you come, and each time I'm gonna record you, ma'am, you all need to knock that witchcraft off. Listen, you all are doing some weird stuff over there. Stop with all of that recording foolishness. Stop that. Somebody has to be the bigger person. So I'm hoping that they both saw the public's reaction to how they behaved. And hopefully this inspires them to say, you know what? Oh, I never want to do this again because this is not really me. This is not how I really act. This is not how I really behave. Let me never do this again because this was so embarrassing. This was so embarrassing, and I don't want to be in this type of situation again. So we have to do better, you all. Listen, if you out here in your real life situations, listen, leave these men alone. If they are showing up, again, if they are showing up empty-handed, the fact that he showed up is enough. No, Jay, you don't understand. He ain't paid child support in X amount. I understand, sis. I do. I promise you I understand. But that don't matter to the well-being, the psychological well-being of your child. It doesn't matter to your child. So you have to do what mothers do. Listen, you have to find a way. Well, Jay, I didn't make him by myself. I didn't. Okay. No, you did not make them. I didn't make them by myself, so I shouldn't have to pay for them by myself. No, you didn't. No, you did not. But what you did was when you signed up for it, when you was up in there and you willingly went in there and you let him come up in there with no raincoat on and y'all was just having a good time. Listen, you forfeit your rights as a well. I didn't sign up because you did sign up for it. You were not married. You signed up for some ish, okay? You let's just put it out there. You having kids out of wedlock. You're signing up for some ish, okay? Because you're not the man's wife, okay? So there are no guarantees. And even in today's society, a lot of marriages, ain't no guarantees, okay? Ain't no guarantees. We want it to be. We hope that it is, but it's not. So once you became pregnant and now you're a mom, the job don't stop. Like the grind don't stop. Like it's always, listen, if that father don't show up, the 100% of it falls on the mother. Is that fair? No, it's not fair. But it's not fair for the child either. So should the child suffer because both parents want to, I'm right, I'm right. You all want to have a ego powwow. So now the child suffers. Well, I'm not paying for it because it was his turn to pay for it, and I'm tired of paying for it. And this, so your child gonna suffer because that's the only one that's gonna suffer. Think about what's best for the child before y'all get on here and keep showing out and acting crazy. Think about what's best for the child. Put your like or your dislike for each other. Table that. Let's stop the ugly exchanges between the kids, in front of the kids. Let's stop those exchanges. If y'all got something that y'all got to get off y'all chest, listen, handle that another way, another time, but not in front of the kids. And if the exchanges are toxic like this, you all need to get a neutral party. You all need to get a mediator. You have to get somebody, because clearly her mother was not the plug. Because her mother was not the plug and the wife. So those are two people we can go ahead on and say, it's safe to say, Brittany Reiner's mother and PJ, his wife or his side chick or whoever the chick was that was in the car, you all are not the plug. You all are not a safe space for this situation. So you all may need to go to court and come up with some type of visitation arrangement. Because what we just witnessed, that can't keep happening. That can't keep happening. And God only knows what happened after the camera stopped rolling. Only God knows, and them 4 clowns that was there know what happened after those cameras stopped rolling. But from what we witnessed, that ain't gonna work. That ain't gonna work. That baby like 2 or 3 years old. Y'all got 15, 16 more years of what, can you imagine that? I cannot imagine arguing with somebody every single. I'm not gonna be able to do it. I'm not gonna be able to do it. And for those guys that say, "Oh, well, it's too expensive to go to court and this and that," I always like to use this analogy. What would you do if you walked outside and your brand new car had been stolen? What would you do? Would you just say, "Oh, well, my car is gone"? Or would you do everything in your power to find your car and make sure that the person that stole your car is prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law? Now, if you the type of dude that say, "You know what, Jay, if I walked outside and my car had been stolen, man, that's just it. It just got stolen." But if you the dude that's gonna run down to, You're going to run to the police station. You're going to get your police report. You're going to go file a civil case and all this and that. You're going to find the money to bring that person to justice that stole your car. Is your child, and not being able to be a part of your child's life, is your child not worth more than a car? Because if there's no excuses for you to get back your car or any other property that's valuable to you, and you're not going to let nothing stand in the way of you getting justice for that, why can't that same energy be used towards getting justice and being able to fight to be a part of your child's life? And again, I understand, like, it shouldn't be a fight. It should not. That's why I'm doing my best to urge these chicks, listen, ladies, come on, we got to do better. We're going to have to lighten up a little bit. And, you know, again, your heart is hurt. Your feelings are hurt. Yes. But that has nothing to do with him being a father. He could have been a bastard of a partner to be in a relationship with, but he can be an amazing father. Again, those two are separate, ladies. We got to make sure, we got to categorize things correctly. Bastard of a husband, bastard of a boyfriend, amazing father. Amazing father wins all the time. So you got to tuck your little feelings that you have about him, you know, being a bastard for a husband or a boyfriend or a baby dad, you know, or no, a boyfriend or ex or whatever. You got to table that feeling. Because if he's an amazing father, that's all that matters. Let him continue to be an amazing father. And you cannot stand in the way, again, because you big mad because he's with somebody else. Again, fellas, if you are with somebody else, listen, you have to be the leader and you have to do your best to set the tone for how you want these interactions with your child to go. Do not, again, do not bring that other woman to your baby mama's house. Do not do that. You all have to stop doing that. That is not a good look. Oh, she can't tell me who I can be with and who I can't. I know, sir. I know. We not saying that. All I'm saying is that there is not the time. It's not the time. You got your woman, you moving on and doing whatever you doing, good for you. But please, 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 please do not bring that to your baby mama's house. Do not. Just listen, just out of respect. I don't respect that B. If you don't respect her for nothing else, respect her for being the mother of your child. If nothing else, you got to give her that respect because she was worth something. You was all up in it with no protection. You was all up in it. All, baby. You put your name all the way up. Listen, you was trying to knock her cervix through her throat. So you was all up in it. So now keep that same energy because, you know, they become bum bees now once you done with them. Now she a bum bee. Well, she was a bum bee when you laid with her, but she was still there. We cannot keep going on in this toxic manner. Now listen, you all, speaking of toxic manner, the foolery continues. So this guy, he's saying, you know, he's recording his, you know, listen, we live in a day and time where everything, and I do mean everything is recorded. Baby, if you blow your nose the wrong way, somebody recording. But let me tell you about this next hot topic because this foolishness right here. So this guy, he's recording his girlfriend. And she has a tramp stamp on her back. And it says, this belongs to Jermaine. Baby, yeah, she got her baby dad. She got her ex's name. Baby, it's a tramp stamp. Now, for those that don't know where the tramp stamp goes or where the tramp stamp is, because you know you all are nice and y'all just tuning in. I'm gonna show y'all right here. The tramp stamp go right here. It's right there. That lower part right there, right above. So imagine that right there. That kisser right there. That's where the tramp stamp goes, okay? The tramp stamp is right there in her lower back. And she has, this belongs to Jermaine. Baby, she still got this man's name all over, and she letting the dude that she with know. This belongs to Jermaine. So the guy, or her boyfriend, he's telling her, you know, he's trying to put her on blast, and he's like, why don't you remove that? Why don't you remove that tattoo? And she's like, when you marry me, I will. What do you all think? Who's right? He's been with her. They have been together for 3 years. So her point was, you already knew it's been 3 years. We've been together. You've been hitting this for 3 years. So for 3 years, as I'm out, baby, as she bouncing it up, for 3 years, you have been watching This Belongs to Jermaine go up and down for 3 years. Now you want to show your and act the clown over this tattoo. What do you all think about that? Fellas, what do you all think about women with these tramp stamps that have another man's name on there, or having a man's tattoo? Listen, because, you know, listen, they getting these tattoos all up their thighs and got, you know. So what do you all think? And how do you feel about women having their ex's name tattooed on them in prominent areas? And then the things that they're saying, she clearly said, even if she had it on her chest, I'm just like, ma'am, okay, this belongs to Jermaine. Wait, what? So I would get, you know, a little distracted, you know, because look, look, let me just say y'all from my point of view. I feel some type of way. I wouldn't really want to deal with a man that had another woman's name on him. I've been in that situation before, and I didn't. His, you know, he had her name on his shoulder. I'd like on his arm. It was a no for me. Yeah, no. Yes, I have tattoos. I don't have a problem with tattoos, but having somebody else's, having your ex's name on you, it's uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable. Hey, Cedric. Hey, Pretty Tasha. Hey, Leo. Hey, you guys. How you doing? Cedric, you're saying stand up, any, please. You know what, Cedric? Pretty Tasha said, well, then, since it has been that long, she needs to go ahead and use it. She needs to have, so when you say use it, Pretty Tasha, you said she needs to have it removed, because she's saying, now, the lady is saying, I will have this removed when we get married. Because she's saying, listen, I've had this tattoo before we even got together. You knew I had this tattoo, so don't sit up here and try to act like I just got this tattoo when you knew that I've had this tattoo with my ex's name on my back. You done hit this so many times, and you didn't have a problem with it saying this belongs to Jermaine. You didn't have a problem with it for 3 years. So now why all of a sudden do you have a problem with, you know, seeing this belongs to Jermaine? You've been seeing this for 3 years. That's her stance. And he's like, you know what? I want you to remove it. And she's saying, you know, I will remove it when you marry me. Cedric, you're saying, is she talking about getting it covered or removed? She said that she'll get it removed, but once he marries her. So basically she's saying, as long as I'm single, dude, you can move around with all that foolishness. You can move around with that foolishness, because it's been here for the whole 3 years that we've been together. And when you go back there and whose is it? Don't ask me that. You may not want to ask me whose is it, because You know whose it is. I'm telling you right there on my back. It says this belongs to Jermaine. So don't get into it, and get your little feelings hurt because it already tell you who it belonged to. So now, if you was hitting it for 3 years and didn't have a problem with it belonging to Jermaine, why now all of a sudden do you have a problem with it? So he called himself trying to put her on blast. But what do you all, I'm like, those trips, like, but here's the thing. I can understand where she's coming from. Like I can say, I can understand where the dude was coming from that had his ex name on his shoulder. It's a no, like it's a no for me, because I'm not going to be going back and forth with you or with anybody over having somebody else's name tattooed on them. I'm just not. Some people have deceased exes, the ex is deceased and they have their names, tattooed on them. Rock out. Again, I have tattoos, but I have it's my name on me and my son's name. I don't have some dude's name on me. And I'm not going to get nobody's, listen, all those, and again, I'm not judging. If you want, listen, you want that whole stamp, listen, hoe out. I don't, listen, it don't, that's your thing. That's your hoo-ha. Use it, give it away, whatever it is you want to do. Let the fellas do backflips up in it. It don't, don't matter to me. It's yours, not mine. But when you're in this type of situation and he's seen it for 3 years, sir, I mean, it's been 3 years. Why are you now all of a sudden starting to complain about the tramp stamp being on her back? And like she said, if you marry her, then she'll remove it. So it's not like she's disagreeing with you. She's just saying that you got to be my husband for me to do something drastic like this. Leo, you're saying straight turn off, no doubt. So that having the tattoo would be, it would be a turn off to have somebody else's name. So fellas, is that true? Is that a turn off to have somebody else's name tattooed on you? Pretty Tasha, you're saying if they've been together for 3 years, then she needs to cover it up. That is better than trying to have it removed. Cedric, you're saying she out of the game then, and she's still getting piped by him. Get your out of my bed and go call Tyrone. Now, now I'm gonna be on her side, because again, it's been 3 years and you've been hitting it for 3 years. So, and you ain't worried about it saying being Jermaine in 3 years. So what's the problem now? If you want to marry me, then as she said, I'm going to honor you and I will remove it. But I'm not going to remove it unless you marry me. To me, I feel like that was a fair compromise. What do you all think about that? Is that a fair compromise? Or since they've been together and it's been 3 years? Guys, if y'all want to talk to me, 708-223-8953, 708-223-8953. Would you have a problem with your woman having a tramp stamp and having another dude's name on her? Again, I'm on her side with this particular situation, because again, it's not like she's telling him she's not going to remove it. She's not saying that at all. She's saying when we get married, if you marry me, then I'm going to remove it. So she is going to do that. But like she said, we're not married. What? And you've been doing it to me with this tattoo on for umpteen years? What the heck you mean? Remove it, marry me. That's what she was saying. She kept saying, marry me and I'll remove it. So is that, fellas, is that kind of a turn off though? Will you be like, okay, I'm not marrying you with that man's tattoo on your body. I'm not proposing to you. Why would that prevent you from proposing when you already been up in there hitting it? You knew that Jermaine was there. You been knew Jermaine was there because you done saw it all these times. You done did it to her. So why would you have a problem with it now? Or why would you not propose because she has the tattoo, even though she says that she's going to remove it? James is saying, is she still in love with the dude tattooed on her? Well, it doesn't say. They didn't say that she still had feelings for her ex. It was the video was about her current boyfriend being upset and wanting her to remove the tramp stamp with her ex's name on it. And she told him she will remove the tattoo when her ex marries her. So she's saying she's going to remove it when he marries her. So it's like, if the tattoo is that big of a deal and you love her, then why? I mean, help me understand. I don't see what's wrong with that setup, because again, she's not telling him she's not going to do it. She did not say that. She said, marry me when we get married. I'll take it off. And he's saying, well, oh, so you want me to marry you and you still got that? Sir, don't act like this just happened overnight. You already saw the tattoo. You saw it. Plain and simple, you saw it for all of these years. Pretty Tasha, you're saying, yeah, he wrong for trying to worry about it now. She should have said it from the beginning. He should have said it from the beginning if he had a problem with it. Cedric is saying, is the simple fact that he even brung it up tells you he always had a problem with it. And I can agree with that. I can understand him having a problem with it. But again, I can understand her stance as well. If you want me to remove it, then marry me. I have no problem with removing it. And he's saying, I'm not marrying you until you remove it. So listen, somebody gonna have to give, because here's the thing. So she marries him, she decides to get it removed, and now he don't marry her. I mean, is she really gonna be losing anything by getting a tramp stamp off her? Not really. But some people, sometimes we just go, the principle of the matter type, or, we just, some of us just have to be disagreeable just to be doggone disagreeable. But again, I don't think that he is in the wrong for not wanting to marry her with that tattoo on. But I'm more so leaning on her side. I'm more so going to favor her position, because again, marry me and I'll remove it. Leo, you're saying he gonna be marrying Jermaine too then. Well, he didn't listen. He was already hitting it where Jermaine was. So, I mean, I don't understand what the problem is. He was already hitting it. He knew Jermaine was there. And for 3 years, he didn't have a problem with flipping her over. So what's the problem now? That's all I'm trying to say is, what is the problem now? You knew that you've been smacking it down for 3 years, talking as she hollered Jermaine's name, or she hollering your name, and you asking her, whose is it? And, I'm sure a time or two she probably done slipped up and said Jermaine. I don't know. Maybe that's why you want her to remove it now. Have no idea. But I'm going to be on the side of the lady. If you marry her, again, because she's not saying no. She's not saying she won't remove the tramp stamp. She's simply saying, you have to marry me and then I will remove it. But until you, again, you ain't made no commitments up in here. You could leave just like Jermaine did. So why would she put herself through this? And Jermaine done left, and now I done got this big old scar on me, and you gone too. Why would I go through all that when I could just keep Jermaine's name on here? Maybe Jermaine may come back after you leave. Who knows? He could see, yeah, you still got that on you. Yeah, I like that girl. Yeah, go ahead on and pick on up where we left off at. Who knows? But starting over again, if she was saying that she's not going to do it, then I would be concerned about that. But again, she did not say she wasn't going to do it. She simply told him, marry me, and then I'll get it removed. That's what she said. She said, marry me, I would get it removed. Eric on YouTube is saying, I bet she would have had a problem if he had a female name on him. I'm sure she would have, because I'm like, I would have had a problem too. But again, it's not the fact that his point is not valid. Let me just explain this. He has a valid point, but she has a valid point as well, because he's been hitting it for 3 years and the tattoo has been there for 3 years. So why are you harping and giving me a hard time about it now? And it hasn't stopped you from doing anything else in the past 3 years. So is he going to be able to say, oh, well, you having this tattoo of your ex's name on you, that's going to stop me from marrying you? No, it's not. You were not going to marry her from the first place. You wasn't going to marry her. First of all, it's already been 3 years and you ain't made no commitment. So it's like, why should she do all these changes and uproot what she's doing? And there are no guarantees with you. Now, I know a lot of you guys say, listen, Jay, she forfeited her chances of any man taking her seriously because she got that tramp stamp on her. And that is very true. That is a very good point. I totally agree. I think that that's a crazy thing to do. Get somebody's name tattooed on you like that, especially if they are not your spouse. First of all, I wouldn't do it for a spouse. But for these, just, anybody, that, y'all don't even got no papers and you done got this on you. And now you want somebody else to come and marry you. So I understand, fellas, how you feel. That's the feeling. She got this dude name all tattooed all up her back and her butt and everything. And every time I'm with her, I got to see a reminder of this other ninja name all on her. And I understand. I understand your plight. I truly do. But let me ask you this. Has that stopped you from hitting it? Because if it hasn't stopped you from hitting it, then, why should it stop you from proceeding forward? If this is somebody that you love and you care about, why would it stop you from moving forward? Especially when she has agreed that if you get married, she would remove it. So to me, that's the biggest thing right there. She said she would remove it. She said she would remove it only if he marries her. Now listen, speaking of being married, what do you all think about this? This line, Derek Jackson, and, him and his wife, listen, him and his ex-wife. So Derek Jackson, for those of you that don't know, so Derek Jackson, he's a relationship coach, life coach or something like that. I believe he was from the Atlanta area. And he got exposed a number of years ago for all of the affairs and stuff that he was having on his wife. And, all his side chicks and stuff just came on out and blew his spot up on social media. And this whole foolery, it was just a hot, foolish mess. But nevertheless, fast forward, they have gotten divorced. So she still has his last name. So he's telling her, I want you to drop my last name. And she's refusing to drop his last name. So what do you all think about that? After a divorce, fellas, are you wanting the woman to, especially, and they have kids together, do you want your ex-wife to drop your last name after divorce is final? Or do you say, you know what? It really doesn't matter because we still have kids together, and I'll let her decide. What she does with her name. If she decides to keep the name, I'm not going to strip her of that because she was my wife and we still have kids together. Or are you like Derek? He's like, listen, you're gone. We're no longer together. I need you to drop my name. I need you to drop my last name and you go and pick up your last name. Now, I don't know if she's holding on to it for sentimental reasons? Is she holding on to it because she loves him, or is she holding on to it because they have kids together? But Derek, you have caused this woman enough trouble and enough heartache and pain and embarrassment. Leave, sir, go have 12 seats. Go have 12,000 seats, please, and thank you. Leave this woman alone. If she decides to drop your little raggedy name, she can drop your name. If she decides to keep it, she can keep it. See, now, if it were me, I would keep his name and brand it and make money and build my brand around his brand. That's what I would do. See, that's a strategic business move. So I would do that. I would consult with a business consultant and some lawyers and make sure that my theory is correct and is sound. And I would build based right on you, and I'll snatch up and I'll come and I'll just attach to your stuff what you got going on, and I'm gonna build my own ish as well. Because again, you brought this on yourself. So why should she, if that name is going to bring her some money, why should she have to give it up? And even if she doesn't do that, it's her name. You the one messed up. You just go on over there and make sure you're doing what you're supposed to do with whomever you're over here with. Now you go over there and mind your business, Derek, and try not to cheat on this chick that you with now. But see, he listen, he already out there. Listen, it's only a matter of time before this issue is exposed. He being exposed with somebody else. I could not listen to nothing. He looked shifty. You know how Aunt Esther said, "Yo, beady-eyed." He looked beady-eyed and shifty. I never listened to nothing that he ever said because he looked like he can't be trusted. So I'm like, if I'm seeing this off of social media, but listen, it's millions of women that listen to this man. So obviously he is doing something right. So I'm not going to knock the hustle. But again, just looking at him, he don't look like he's somebody that should be trusted. Now, Eric on YouTube is saying, I have been divorced and I completely understand where she's coming from because she wants her last name and her kids' last names to match. Absolutely. And that's what I'm saying. So if it's from that standpoint, I totally understand. And she should get to keep his name. I'm like, dude, you messed up. Leave her alone. If she want to keep it, she can keep it. If she decides she wants to drop it, she can drop it. But if you decide to get married again, you're going to have to explain to your new Mrs. Jackson that, listen, I effed up with the first Mrs. Jackson. So you the second Mrs. Because she going to be the second Mrs. Jackson anyway. I effed up with with the first one. So hopefully things go right this time. But just in case, my ex, she won't, she won't drop the last name. And she shouldn't have to. You messed up. You did that dumb ish. So if she decides to keep it for her and her kids, then she decides to keep it for her kids. If she decides to keep it just to spite you, she can keep it as well. Like, so leave her alone. Like, he just seems like he's a crazy dude that is just doing everything in his power to try to break her down. See, he needs somebody that's petty. Ma'am, I need you to come on and wake up your petty senses, because he done played with you long enough. Yes, I know the Lord, he's good and he loves. Yes, he does. But you're going to have to show him another side so he can stop playing with you, because you ain't went crazy on him good enough for him to leave you alone yet. But you know what? You start japping out and you go crazy on him, I promise you he going to leave you alone, because right now he think that she's scared of him. That's because she ain't went crazy on him. You got to do some stuff that's going to make him see you in his dreams. When they say your name, he gonna start looking around because you done put so much wrath on him. Because see, she trying to be calm and cool, and I get it. She's trying to be the bigger person and this and that. But in their situation, this is when the bigger person does not work, and you have to match petty with petty. And she's going to have to show him that she is Queen petty. She's going to have to show him that. But until she shows him that, he's going to keep messing with her. Cedric is saying she has the right to keep it. My ex kept mine for professional reasons. Again, I think that whatever reason that they decide to keep it, you can keep it. Now, let me go and be petty like y'all know I can be. I don't know if I would want to get involved with another dude and you still got another woman carrying your last name. Like, I don't even know if I would want to get it, involved, because it's like, it's so complicated, dealing with people that have been married. Like, I don't know. Like, how do you proceed with that? Like, I mean, because you're like the second, like, I don't know, like, it's something about being number two that would not, sit right with me, so I'm just like, but it's me, you all. I said it, I'm petty, and I do have, and I own that. And am I trying to change it? Probably not. Nah. Because the moment, I'm gonna tell you, this is what I'm gonna tell you, how I know it's gonna be a problem. This is new wife. See, that introduction right there. I don't want to be in that position where, oh yeah. This is Mikey, this Mikey new wife right here. Wait. So I can't just be the wife. Why I just can't be the wife? The family got to go explaining what happened to the first wife. And, only exception is, if God forbid the first wife has passed away. But that's the only reason. But and then because the first wife is still alive and now I got to be, oh no, I don't, no, I'm just not. I'm not there, you all. So just keep me lifted, because again, I do, as I said, I do reside on Petty Island, but I do need Derek Jackson to please find him some business. Now listen, speaking of finding some business, what do you all think about this? So you're in a situation where you adopt a child, and you have done the best that you can do for this kid. And then around 14 to 15, when they get in them teenage years and they thinking they grown and they know everything, the kid gets out of control. Skipping school, getting high, joining gangs. Do you try and get them some help and stick around for it? Or do you just call the state and say, you know what? Listen, y'all better come get this. You all better come get this seed, this spawn of Satan. You all better come and get Rosemary's baby right now, because I'm not going to be able to deal with it. You've adopted a kid and you've had them since they were like 5 or 6. Now they're in their teenage years. And everybody knows that once these kids become teenagers, they lose their everlasting minds. I mean, whether it's adopted, because here's my thing. If you adopting them, but what if it was like your real child? What do you do? Like, I mean, because if you adopted the kid, and you, in my opinion, if you adopted the kid out of love, it shouldn't matter whether the kid is adopted or not. If they're clowning and acting crazy, you signed up to love that child and raise that child. So I know some people may be saying, listen, Jay, this is not even that person's biological child. But I think after so long, like, does it really matter? Because it's like you've been in this child's life since they were 4 years old. And this kind of happens like when men come into a relationship with a woman that has kids, and maybe the kid is like maybe 3 or 4. He's cool with the kid, and like they plan family for 4, 5 years, but they never get married. And then they break up because she like, listen, we've been together for 5 years and you ain't married me yet. I'm ready to get married. And for whatever reason, he has reservations about getting married, or she's not the one, or he's like, man, you know what? I don't want a ready-made family, even though he done been there for 5 years. I don't understand how you not ready for a ready-made family and you already done put 5 years in. But nevertheless, it's his choice and his decision. But he's developed a bond with that child. So now you guys have broken up, but what happens to the bond with the child? Is he supposed to just forget about the child? Is the child just supposed to forget that this dude played his dad and played the role of a dad for 5 years? We have to be mindful of things like that. So just because we break up and we're through, it doesn't mean that the kids are through. And I think a lot of times, us as parents, a lot of times we don't really take that into consideration. Like, just because you done, if that man still decides to have a relationship with your child, then I believe that they should be able to have a relationship with your child if that's what they desire. But if he wants a clean break and, he decides to break up with you and the child as well, I mean, can you really fault him? No, you can't, because again, this is not his kid. But like, integrity wise, I would kind of be looking like kind of crazy, because I'm just like, man, so did you front for 5 years when you were with this chick and you were with the kid? Like, did you front for all of those years, making it seem like you were rocking with the kid just to get a closer, cozier relationship with the mom? Did you really mean anything? So when it comes to adopting kids, like, it's a big step, and it's a big responsibility. And to adopt them, to go through that entire process, I would say this: don't adopt unless you are fully sure that that's something that you want to do. Because again, these jokers, they, listen, they flip out when they teenagers. Man, you be wanting to, break a mop upside their head. Some of them act so crazy. So it's not just because they are adopted that they're acting like this. It's because all the hormones and the craziness that they're dealing with, this is why they're acting like that. Plus you add on them being adopted. So it's a lot of stuff going on at that moment. But I would just say, listen, that's a situation by situation, case. Because if you feel like you are at your wit's end and you can't handle it before you hurt them kids, then I would say give them up. I would say give them up. If you if you ever feel like, okay, I'm going to seriously hurt, I'm going to seriously hurt these kids. Not, I'm going to discipline them. I'm going to put my foot up your back. Because it's a difference between putting your foot up your behind, and out of discipline, versus now you are forming some type of contempt in your heart and you really don't like them and you don't want them there. If that's how you feel, I say give them up. But if you like, oh, I'm about to break my foot off up in there, then you keep them, because you're going to break them off just like you would break your biological kids off. Now, if they call the state after you done broke them off and broke your foot in their behind, then that was their choice. But, it's going to be some foot behind getting broke off up in here. You do some crazy stuff. And I'm going to tell y'all, I was going to be a foster parent. Don't judge me. I was going to be a foster parent years ago. And no, I didn't get denied. That was the producer, Earl Runfrey. No, I did not get denied. I actually went through the entire process, and I was a foster parent. I got approved to be a foster parent. But I knew when I took the course and I got certified, I already knew that being a foster parent was not for me. Now, you guys may say, Jay, wait a minute. What do you mean it wasn't for you? Because, see, I already knew that I would probably end up in jail. Why would you end? Because they had too many things that you could not do. You couldn't touch them. You couldn't slap them. You couldn't pop them upside the head. You couldn't push them. You couldn't spank them. It was just a lot of things that you could not do. But they would tell you the type of kids that you could get. So they would tell you that, you know what? These kids, they come from troubled houses. A lot of times they've been removed. They've been placed from foster home to foster home to foster home. And they just really going through a lot of emotional stuff and a lot of psychological stuff. So we need people to that's going to be there to love the kids and stuff like that. When I tell you, I told the people before I was even finished with the course, I told them that I'm going to finish it because I started it, but I'm not going to participate. So they kept trying to, convince me see, no, we need people like you. We need parents like you. We need people that are going to, I said, well, no, here's why. Because they were telling me okay, well, a lot of times, the kids, they have a problem. They like to start fires. A lot of the kids, they said, this is what they were telling me during the classes, that, they were giving us, and maybe these were worst case scenarios, but all I can see is if I wake up in the middle of the night and I see a kid light my curtains on fire, once I put it out, I'm putting my foot all up in. Listen, you ain't seen no fire until you see how I'm going to strike fire from your behind. Miss Vance, you can't. I'm like, oh God, so what am I supposed to do? Just put them on I said, no. I'm going to grab that little joker. I'm going to choke them up. Look, it's going to be some touching. It's going to be some hand touching. And they're like, well, no, it's, hitting and striking and punishing them with, not giving them food and stuff. I said, well, listen, okay, wait a minute. Who not giving the kids food? They were all the horrific stories and stuff that they would tell us, as far as, some of the kids eating out the garbage and things like that. Like my heart just really went out. Lord knows I really wanted to do it, but I knew that, listen, I'm going to slap. Somebody is going to get popped. Listen, without a shadow of a doubt, I knew somebody was going to be getting hemmed up. I knew this. So before because I already have my own son. So I'm like, before I put myself in position to get in trouble, and because they're already telling me that you cannot hit, you cannot do this, you cannot do. They had all of the you cannot do, and everything that they were saying I can't do, as far as disciplining, like I said, with the exception of food. I'm like, well, we're not going to be starving no kids. And they said you can't make them eat what they don't want to eat. So I come from the era of you going to eat whatever was put before you. You going to sit here until you eat all those mashed potatoes and that nasty meatloaf. You going to sit here until you eat it all. I come from that school. I'm not opening your mouth up, but you don't got no other options. If you decide to forfeit the meal that was put on the table before you, they told us, then you go to bed hungry. Or you ain't gonna, you don't want to eat it? That's fine. Can I have a snack? No, there are no, listen, I come from the age it was no snacks. So if you didn't eat the nasty raviolis, because I'm telling you, I hated raviolis, I hated mashed potatoes, I hated meatloaf. I couldn't wait to get grown because I'm like, I swear, I say these are some foods that will never touch my house because I couldn't stand them. And guess what? I knew that I would be going to bed hungry. I knew that I would, on those days, if it was for lunchtime, I'd have to starve until dinner time. But if the raviolis was for dinner, then I'd have to starve till the morning time because there was no, listen, you ate what was before you. So I come from that school. Again, maybe depending on how the child was, or maybe a little, I don't know. But I didn't consider that child abuse because, again, I did it with my son. Listen, I don't eat that, because one day he came home from school and he told me, well, I've decided I'm not going to eat white rice anymore because it's bleached. So I looked down at him. I said, so what kind of rice you plan on buying? Well, I figured that you could buy the brown rice and you could, I say, listen, let me tell you something. I'm not fixed. And then I looked, I'm like, dude was like 6 or 7. And you telling me what you like, at that point, I had to like kind of be quiet because what he was saying was facts. Like he was telling me what he learned in science, and here it is. I'm about to like, oh, you ain't finna, oh, you ain't. And I was like, I said, hey, you got to control your crazy. You got to control your crazy because this man almost just did not have no food to eat. But when he put it from that point, I was like, Dick, he is right. Like this white rice, what do it say on the bag? Bleached white rice. It's like, well, the bleach is not good for you to cause cancer and all this, so he knew how to play me. But if it was some stuff that I cooked and for real, he didn't want it, I'm like, you already know what to do. You already don't let me catch you up in that refrigerator because it ain't no Scooby snacks tonight. It ain't nothing. You don't eat dinner. There is no snacks. So so I wasn't a good fit for the adoption, but I definitely I been around adopted kids and people, adopted kids that have come, to be grown-ups. And it's like, to me, I never saw a difference in them. Once there are people around you for so long, it's family. You don't I don't look at it, and maybe some people do, but I don't look at it as though, oh, well, this is somebody's adopted this and that. This is somebody. We don't, in my family, we don't have those type of titles. You family, and that's it. Like when people come, you dating people with the kids. And this is why I don't understand why a lot of people have some of the issues that they have with, dating kids, people with dating kids. I don't know, maybe because I'm from a big family and it's like, what the heck? What can one more hurt? Like, we have a huge family. What the heck can another one hurt? It don't matter. It's like a thousand kids. Like, who is crying over one more? Oh, well, he got a kid. Listen, you come from a huge family. It's 1,000 of you jokers. What the heck? That's how it is over here where we are. It's just a lot of them. Once they come around, you auntie, guess what? We still auntie. It's been people that have broken up with people in my family. When they see me, I'm still auntie. I'm saying, hey auntie, hey auntie, hey auntie. There's no blood there. The people they not even still together. But it's like, once you bond with people, it's like, okay, the bond is there. But I don't know, for some people, some of y'all just weird. Like, y'all just be like, oh, I ain't doing that. There ain't no blood. There ain't no kin to me. Okay, well, I don't see it like that. So if you made the commitment to keep the kid and to adopt the kid, then, I think it's just like marriage, through better, for better or for worse, good and bad, and hopefully that child grows up to appreciate it. But it's like, sometimes you want to strangle them, and sometimes you're gonna have to. You gonna have to. If they 14 and 15 and they acting like that, you're gonna have to choke them up. Now, I will say, now look, if you go, but again, I can't really say that because it's like, think about if it was your biological child, and if they went and got into some trouble, legal trouble, would you give all that you had to make sure your child was brought home safe? So why would it be a difference if you made a commitment to this child to be their parent, whether you're their biological parent or not? Why would it matter if you adopted them or not? Why is it a conditional? Is there conditions on your love? Is the condition that if you ever did something bad, then I would let you go and I wouldn't be there for you? I'm only your adopted parent when you're doing good and when it's convenient for me. But the moment it gets hard, then I'm gonna not be there for you. And again, this is for situations, that statement is directly for people that willingly went down to get kids to adopt them. Now, it's a different story if you're getting a kid that's placed with you because it's some stuff going on with the family. And now you got these jokers acting every which way. And it's like, you like, man, I'm doing this. I'm trying to do this for you. And it's like everything that they're doing, like they're disrupting your life. They're not appreciative of what you're doing. Then at that point, that particular circumstance, we may have to take a deeper look at that, because I'm like, clearly I'm doing this from the bottom of my heart. I'm doing this out the goodness of my heart. I'm trying to put you in a better position, and you come and you bring me this stress over here. You bringing me all this ish over here, and I'm trying to help you for you. I didn't come looking for you. I didn't come down here telling these folks I wanted to be a foster parent or adopt a parent. I didn't come down here for that. Somebody rang my phone and I answered and I said yes, because I wanted to help. But now you gonna get up here and you think you about to run me out the rest of the man that I got? I got a trick for you. That, to me, that's a different situation. And that's a different conversation, but that's not what this particular question was coming from. But I'm just saying that particular situation would probably have to be looked at a little bit differently. But you all, listen, speaking of looking at a little bit differently, tonight, you all, we are talking about, is cheating ever justified in a relationship? Oh yeah. Now you may say, Jay, how in the world are you gonna ask if cheating is ever justified? Here's how. Have you ever been in a relationship and you felt like your partner was not doing the things that they needed to do to keep you happy? Have you ever felt like your partner was hard to talk to and you found somebody else that was easier to talk to? They were there to listen. They didn't shut you down. They complimented you when you needed a compliment. They were there, for a shoulder to cry on. They supported you. They encouraged you. Everything that you were missing at home, this person provided. Everything. Listen, you may be in a position where you you need a little extra money. Things are tight at home. Mr. ain't got extra nothing to give nobody. So it's no. Every time you come to him trying to ask him for something, baby, it is no. So you found somebody that says yes. You need this? Okay, I got you. What else you need? You got it? I got you. I got you. Have you ever been in that situation? Are these justifiable reasons to seek comfort from someone else? Is it okay? Is it okay to inbox someone on social media multiple times per day, every day, having personal and intimate conversations if you're married or in a committed relationship? So this is where that good morning king and that good morning queen, and you guys are just forming a relationship on social media. Every day you guys are talking, having private conversations. Now again, you're married or you're in a committed relationship and you're entertaining someone on social media unbeknownst to your mate or your spouse. Is that okay? Would that be considered a form of cheating? So again, you never met them in person, but you guys have formed a relationship on social media. Again, every morning, like clockwork, you guys are checking in with each other. They know about your family life. You're venting, telling them everything that's going on with your wife. So instead of telling your wife about what's going on and what she's not doing or what you need to have doing, you found an outlet with this chick on social media. So instead of telling your husband what it is that's going on and how you're feeling, you don't feel like he's paying you enough attention. He's not dating you like he used to do. He's not being romantic. Whatever the things that were happening with you all in the beginning, it's a change now. There's a shift in the relationship. Is that considered cheating? What is cheating? Let's just go over the definition so that we can determine what cheating is, because you know what? Sometimes it can be a little, some great lines there. So maybe you say, listen, as long as you ain't touched them and they ain't touched you, I don't, all of that other ish ain't real. According to an online source, there are several definitions of what cheating is, and it ranges from having intimate contact with someone other than your partner or discussing things of an intimate nature with a member of the opposite sex. So it can range again from having that contact or from having a conversation and just discussing intimate things. But see, this is just the online source. But for me, I'm going to take it a step further. You don't even have to, for it to be cheating, for me, you don't even have to be discussing anything of an intimate nature. You could strictly be telling them how you feel about me. If it's something negative about me and you got a problem with me, so instead of sitting me down, your wife, and talking to your wife, you out here telling your social media connect. You out here telling your coworker, your work wife. You out here telling them that. For me, that's cheating. For me. Because now you have gotten a close relationship, a personal relationship with someone outside of me. And for me, those can be even more damaging and detrimental, because now you're spending your time getting to know somebody else. You're letting them in where somewhere that it should be only reserved for me, but now you're making room for somebody else. I'm gonna have a problem with that. That's gonna be a problem. Leo is saying talking is cheating too. And Cedric is saying no. And this is coming from a person who once cheated. So you're saying no, that the conversations is not considered cheating? Or what part are you saying no to, Cedric? Because again, for me, conversation is definitely cheating. It doesn't matter if you are having an intimate conversation or if it's just, and it's not even of a sexual nature. It hasn't even gotten there yet. But again, if you're sharing all of this personal stuff, you're sharing your hopes and your dreams, and you got something against me and whatever it is, oh, she ain't doing this and she ain't, because the moment you start telling somebody else what your man or your woman doing or what they not doing, you're not doing it. All you're doing is giving them ammunition to come in and pick up where your person is lacking. So you haven't discussed these things with your mate or your spouse. Maybe you have, but you are arming a stranger with ammunition to come in and replace the person that you're with. Now, sometimes people don't know that they're doing that, but then I believe some people do know that they're doing that. You're forming that just in case type of relationship. Eric is saying, I have been divorced and I can completely understand where she's coming from. I'm sorry, I read that one already. How you doing, Allison, on YouTube? But it's cheating, whether it's physical or not. But again, some people may not feel the same way. They may not feel that it's cheating if there is nothing physical involved. They may not feel that it's cheating. Now, why do some people cheat? Let's discuss a few of those reasons. Why do some people cheat? One reason could be they're dissatisfied sexually with their partner. Here are a few of the top reasons that people cheat. Again, they're dissatisfied sexually with their partner. They're emotionally unsatisfied. Let's just focus there for a minute. I think a lot of people underestimate how important that component is. If you are not fulfilled emotionally, woo, baby, listen. You can be spending all this money and you can be doing all this, but if you are not taking care of a person's heart and their emotions, what are they being loyal to? They have nothing, because you're not giving them anything. You're giving them the world, so to speak. But you're not giving them you. Some of y'all missed that. You can give them the world, all these material things. But if you don't give them the one thing that they desire, which is you, that's it. You drop the ball. But does that give them a right to cheat? Does that make, in that case, is cheating justified? They're coming to you, trying to talk to you. Listen, babe, listen, you used to tell me I'm beautiful. You used to, we used to go and take nice walks, and we used to do dinner, and we used to date, and we just used to have quality time with each other. We just used to, it used to be you and I. We always made time for each other. But now that's changed. You don't have time for me. You're too busy for me. But you can jump on social media and you can good morning queen this other lady, but you haven't even told the woman that's laying next to you every night. You haven't even told her good morning. You can pay all these women on social media. You can pay them all the attention and all the compliments, but you haven't told the woman that you said I do to. You haven't said anything to her. You will rush and you will make sure that you got some food, some extra food for this work husband at home, at the job. But your real husband at home, he got to put a TV dinner in. You can sit up there and you can encourage this work husband, and you can tell him, help him build his business up, and you can help him get his side hustles on the ball. But when your husband tells you he think he want to quit his job and he want to open up a business, what you do, you complaining to your husband. You can't quit your job and do this, but you don't have that same energy for the work husband. You're not going to help your real husband come up with a plan like you do with your work husband. So you're going to tell your work husband, no, don't quit your job. This is how you do it. But at home, when you get at home with your real husband, all you're going to do is nag at him and complain and push him away, instead of sitting down with your husband and having the same energy that you have with the work husband and laying down a plan for your husband, for your family. Y'all see how that goes? So we'll have more energy. We'll have more patience. We'll have more understanding for somebody else. But the people that we sleeping next to, we've lost that connection for them. So now when they find somebody else that do what you won't do, are they justified in cheating? Or are you saying there's never a reason to cheat. Because listen, it really goes deeper than this surface. It really goes deeper than because often when we're talking about cheating, we just really just think right to the side. All this. Mm. When you're talking about this emotional cheating, baby, listen, to me, that's what destroys these marriages. That's what you can't come back for. You can't come back from that because you started to care for somebody. You can't come back from that ish. How do you come back from, listen, let me paint this picture. Yeah, he saw a chick, man, and he was just so turned on, man, he smashed her right there in the alley. He don't even know her name. He don't know nothing. All he know that it's like, man, it just happened because, man, she looked so good. Everything was revealing. Man, he just could not control himself. So he did her right there. Gotcha. That's the first scenario. The next scenario is this chick he working with. He never touched her. Never touched her. Every day he check on her, make sure she made it to work, make sure she made it home. She run out of gas for the car. He done left on lunch and went to fill her gas tank up. You know, one day he see her tire pressure low. He changing her tires. He putting air in her tires. He making sure her and her kids are good. Never touched her. Never touched her. She never touched him. She bringing him work, food to work and everything. And they're talking, sharing their dreams, where they see themselves in the future and all this and that. They're sharing all that. 6 months, every day, faithfully, they're talking, starting to care about each other. Never touched her. Never touched him. You stumble across those messages. What do? Which one would be easier to digest? The chick that he slammed, that he smashed because she was just so attractive that he couldn't keep, and he couldn't contain himself, and he's sorry for that. Or the chick that he never touched, but for 6 months, they had conversations every day, and they started to care about each other. He got to make sure she okay, and he don't see a reason why he should stop talking to her. He doesn't want to stop. He's telling you he's not going to stop talking to her because he's not doing anything wrong. He's not going to stop talking to her because he cares about her. Is that cheating? He never touched her. She never touched him. They never said anything sexual. But a bond was created that neither one of them are prepared to break. Would that be justified? Would cheating be justified in that case? Or are you one of them ones that say, Jay, I don't care what it is. Cheating is never justified. Again, I believe that. I believe that cheating is never justified. But I will also go on to add that I can understand if somebody found themselves in this situation, because you got to understand, if you're alienating me, you're alienating the feelings that you're supposed to give to me, you're giving that to somebody else. How do I process that? What do you do with that? What do you do with that when you're with somebody and they're giving what they're supposed to give you, they're giving it to somebody else? But I never touched her though. I never touched him though. But the access that they have to your heart, the access that they have to you mentally, emotionally, only I'm supposed to have that. How did she get here? How did he get here? Would that be justified? So when people are saying, There are no reasons, and you shouldn't be. There isn't. But let us not make it easy for our mate or our spouses to fall into these type of situations. And let's not ourselves fall into these type of situations. Because again, guys, listen, it's rough. We're all busy. We're all doing things and we're all trying to get better over here and better over there. But at the end of the day, we got to make sure that we are taking care of home. We got to, because if we don't, guess what? There's somebody at their job waiting on it. It's somebody that they see on social media. Somebody is waiting to do what you are not doing. So before you get too busy to pay your woman a compliment, but you jump in these other women inboxes and you hey beautiful in them and all of this ish, before you hey beautiful another woman, make sure you hey beautiful in the one that you're laying next to. Before you go and encourage another dude and help him set up his business, make sure you're encouraging your dude before somebody else will. Because I'm not saying that cheating is justified. I'm not saying that at all. But I'm saying that, listen, just don't you go and make it easy for them to cheat on you. Guys, I want to thank you so much for tuning in. Please do me a favor, go to our YouTube channel, like and follow us there. That's the Jaye Spot Radio. Subscribe, drop your comments. Go to Facebook, like and follow us there, the Jaye Spot. Also go to Instagram, like and follow us there, the Jaye Spot Radio. Jay is spelled Jaye for all three. Until next time, you all take care of yourselves and each other. Take care of your man and take care of your woman. Peace out. Good night, you guys. Thank you. Good night. Good night, babies. Good night. Thank you, guys. Good night. Good night. Good night. Thank you.